It's just gone past 20 to 8 on the BBC, and there is a Leeds mum pledging to go all out on a fundraiser in memory of her late son who died from a brain hemorrhage. Now, Ricky Nugent was taken ill while playing rugby for his team in Leeds in 2009. Now, despite efforts by doctors to save him, he died later in hospital just 4 weeks before his 17th birthday. Now, Ricky would have been 21 this year, and since then his mum Anne has raised over, get this, £20,000 for charity over the past couple of years. It's no mean feat. This year she's organised her biggest fundraiser yet on what would have been Ricky's 21st birthday. I'm so pleased to welcome Anne Cameron into the studio. Good morning, Anne.
Morning.
So tell us about Ricky. What kind of guy was he?
Well, Ricky was just a fun-loving lad. He was absolutely brilliant personality, brilliant sense of humour, popular. A bit of a ladies' man as well.
Oh, a bit of a player.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Where does he get that from?
From his mum.
Brilliant. And he was 16 at the time. Can
He
you take me
was.
back to that day? Were you on the touchline at all? Were you watching him play rugby?
No, unfortunately, my husband, Ricky's stepdad, Alistair, was working that day, so we weren't able to go. But we soon got there as soon as we got the phone call to say that Ricky had been taken ill. And so, of course, from him going out of the house that morning to play rugby.
It's all right, Anne. I know it's difficult.
I didn't see him alive again. Well,
Yes.
I did see him alive, but he didn't regain consciousness.
Yeah.
And it was taken to... It was still actually on the pitch when we got there, but unconscious.
Yeah.
And he was taken to Dewsbury District Hospital, where they did numerous tests, and they sent scans and things through to LGI, and they actually said at LGI that they weren't going to bother sending him over to the LGI to transfer him because they knew that there was nothing that they could do for him.
Oh.
They did, in fact, transfer him on the Monday, which was a big, massive operation, getting him from Dewsbury over to Leeds. And they were doing sort of hourly tests on him, response tests, but there was nothing. And the neurosurgeon took us, all the family, into a room and explained to us about he'd had this massive bleed, which was at the base of in the brain stem. So there was literally nothing that they could do for him.
It is absolutely shocking, isn't it? It is so shocking.
It is because he was a big, fit, strong lad. He'd
Yes.
never really been ill, in his life. He'd not suffered much illness. He was slightly asthmatic, but only very slightly. It was generally when he was playing rugby.
Yeah.
He used to have to... in fact, he'd had to stop that day and have a couple of puffs on
of his
inhaler.
Yeah.
But apart from that, he was never really, ill. He was just a big, fit lad, so...
What has enabled you to keep going, Anne? Because I'm thinking the amount of money that you've raised in the last few years has been perhaps your inner strength for Ricky.
I think so. I think it is. Yeah, it's because, well, it keeps Ricky's memory alive. It keeps his name going. And I don't think it's just me that does that. There's lots and lots of other people that, they just won't ever forget Ricky.
Yeah.
But the first year after Ricky died in 2010, I'd not even heard of Headway, the brain injury charity. I didn't even know it existed. Yeah. And then when I can't even remember how I got to know about Headway. I think it was something in the Evening Post. And I just thought, well, I think this seems quite a good sort of a worthy charity to support, because if Ricky had have survived his brain hemorrhage, I may have needed help from somewhere like that.
Absolutely. And your event on what would have been Ricky's 21st birthday, which is 27th of October,
It
4
is.
days' time. What's happening in 4 days' time?
Oh, we've got raffle, we've got prize bingo, we've got majorettes there, we've got an appearance from Chris Clarkson, who's a Leeds Rhino.
Oh, fantastic.
We've got Mr Fabian Hamilton, the MP, dropping in. We've got councillors Jim and Andrea McKenna calling in. We've got the White Rose Ambassadors are the majorette troupe.
Oh, yes, the White Rose. They are fantastic. They are tremendous. And where does it all start? What time does it start? Where's the venue?
Well, it's at Farnley Sports and Social Club, which is at Butt Lane, Leeds 12.
Yeah.
And it's at 11:30.
Yeah.
We've got a friendly game going on, a rugby game, which is the under-9s and my two nephews.
Oh, brilliant.
Aaron and Harvey
lovely.
play. And it's West Leeds, which was Ricky's former club, and they're playing Shawcross under-9s, which is actually the team that Ricky was playing. And I do believe that there's quite a lot of reorganisation gone into trying to get Shawcross, because it was going to be another team, but a lady at West Leeds has apparently pulled all the stops out to get Shawcross to play on the day. So I'm eternally grateful to Sam for that.
Do you think you will do this on a regular basis for
yeah.
Ricky? Is it really?
Well, I've fundraised since Ricky died. The year after Ricky died, when we did the first fun day, it was a massive, massive event. It was just huge. And Jim and Andrea McKenna, Jim was the Lord Mayor of Leeds at the time, and they came and opened the event for us, and we just had everything going on. It was massive. Yeah. We sort of scaled it down a little bit since, and this year I've not done quite as much fundraising because I was actually out of action for a few months because I'd had an op, and we've recently moved house, me and Alistair. So it's sort of been a little bit, not quite on the scale that it was before.
But Saturday, I think, is going to be a fantastic event.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. Oh, crikey. Sunday, 11:30. And I better get it right. That's Sunday, everybody. Sunday. Yeah. And thank you for joining me this morning. I really appreciate the time you've taken to come into the studio.
Thank you.
And Cameron, Ricky Nugent, remembering him, and Fun Day on Sunday.